have to walk people through the stages of them understanding what they can do to build this business and this organization. Health and wellness is growing at $250 million a day. That's a data point you need to write down. $250 million a day goes into this industry. Credibility, MBA, WMBA, Manny Pacquiao, other layers of credibility. You have a product that is changing people's lives. You will have things at our conference that will absolutely change the way you can speak to somebody when they talk to us about our science, and you're able to hand them one document. One document is all you're going to have to hand somebody, or you're going to PDF it, put it in your email, and you'll be able to forward to them immediately. You don't have to get into the details of science because the medical community will have some type of say into what our product does. Is that going to bring value to your business, yes or no?
Yes.
And it goes back to that in-home presentation that you're going to do. It's going to go back to that weekly meeting that you attend. It's going to go back to that conference call that you're on and that leadership call that you do for your team, but also the leadership call that you plug into. See, my mentor said the same thing to me. He said, when you outgrow my check, then you don't have to listen to me anymore. And I looked at him and I said, well, the way the comp plan is, I don't think I can outgrow your check. He goes, now you're getting it. Why? Because as a group and an organization, as a team, we can grow faster by everybody getting in the same loop. When you're not connected, here's the big thing of why people fail in network marketing. I can tell you right now, there's two things: belief and community. When you don't have your people plugged into a community, they will die. There's no two ways around it. They will die. They will perish. And the reason why they'll perish is because if they're not involved in a community and there's nobody around to help uplift you or bring you up or get you connected, when something doesn't go right, guess what you do? What do you do, guys? It's easy to be by yourself and get negative and quit. It is harder to quit when you have a group of people around you that know that you have more potential than you may even have in yourself. That's what's hard to do. So when you get your people connected and you start building a culture, write this down, culture. When you start building a culture in this business where your people are connected, I promise you, you will keep more people long-term within your organization and your team. When you sign them up and say, go with God, go get it, you will not win in this business. I don't care what product we roll out. I don't care what we do. If your people are not connected, you know, it's interesting. I had a group that said to me, you know, driving 20 minutes to a meeting. I was like, what? You know, a year and a half ago, you were driving 45 minutes because of where we used to have the meeting. And nobody had a problem with that. It's what you do and what you say to people and how you say it. No different than what Jeffrey's words were earlier. When you say it and how you say it and how you put that out is what people are going to do based on what your language is. If I recruit somebody and I bring them in and they buy a retail product package and they want to be a leader, and they ask me, do I have to go to a meeting? Yes. Yeah, absolutely you do. You can call that a meeting, you can call that a presentation, you can call that a biz op, you can call it whatever you want to call it. But if you're not willing to go get entrenched in the culture or build your own culture within, I promise you this will never, ever work. Do you think a person that's in their third or fourth year in network marketing that's followed the steps and the systems is going to be a little more seasoned than a first or a second year network marketing, yes or no? Yes. And if you're not after year 3 and 4, you need to evaluate what you did in year 1 and 2. If you didn't plug into presentations, if you weren't doing in-homes, if you weren't doing engagement calls, if you weren't doing follow-up calls, just bringing out something new in our company is not going to change your business because you have to change the principles of what you're doing. If you're not getting to where you need to be, you have to evaluate what is it that you're doing that's not going to be there. But if you tell yourself that you can't do something, you're right. If you tell yourself you're struggling because of this, and this, you're right. So what we have to do is we have to go back to the basics.